Wonderful. So welcome, and we will get started because we have a very short session, and I just want to make sure that you guys get some of the tools that I'm going to share. You get all the tools that I'm going to share with you today. Wonderful. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Chris, and I am the founder of Alma y Espíritu, and I'm not going to talk much about me today. Today is all about you and providing some of these tools during this difficult times that we are facing throughout the world. So let's see if I can use my pointer. There we go. So that's the agenda for today. So you have an idea what we're going to be doing. We're gonna do a bit of some activities. Should be fun. If you want, go get a piece of paper and a pen. We will be doing some writing. So if you want to do that right now, I invite you to do that. And we will be talking about change, uncertainty, and stress. So some of the things that we are facing, right? With this virus and this pandemia that came and stopped the world and gave us the ability to pause and do things like this. So for the arrival activity, and hopefully you're back already with that paper, but we're not going to use it yet. We're going to do something like a science project. So here I have my stillness jar, just full of water. So I'm going to turn it so you can see. Full of water, clear water. And here we have two girls, one sitting trying to meditate in her head. It's like with, all these different thoughts and things happening in the head. And then she sits for a bit, and then all of a sudden she starts to be actually present with her body and herself. So in this activity, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what happens. So this is our mind, this clear water in this jar. And this is a little bit of mud. And I'm gonna, and if you wanna, you can always put comments in the chat. But I am going to assume some of the things that the mud represents. So, for example, the mud represents social media, the news, WhatsApp, all these things that are coming, all this information that is coming towards us, like every day since this pandemic started. So all this stuff, it's here, and I'm gonna put it in our heads, in our minds. And as you can see, the water starts to change. So we consume all this information, and then what do? We start like running around and moving and doing this and doing that. And I need to go to the supermarket, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. So start moving around. And this happens to all of us, right? And we move and we move and we move and we do, and we keep thinking and rethinking. And what happens? Our mind just gets all clogged up. We can't see clearly. We can't see really what's happening. So now we're going to practice together. And I'm going to sit the jar here behind me so you can see it. And for only 2 minutes, let me see if you can see it there. We're going to sit for 2 minutes with our breath. So I invite you now to find a comfortable sitting position. So put both of your legs on the sides. Doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if it's noisy. Just closing your eyes, or perhaps just looking at the screen, following my voice. And we take a deep breath. Deeply exhaling. Really relax the shoulders. Relax the belly. And feel our body here sitting. So when you're comfortable, you may bring your attention to your breathing. And I invite you to, in silence, say the number 1 when you notice that you are inhaling, and the number 2 when you are exhaling. So as you notice that you're breathing and you're observing the breath, you, in silence, repeat 1 and 2 when you're exhaling. One and 2. At your own rhythm. 1, 2. Allow whatever is present to be there. Allow the mind and the body to arrive here. 1 and 2. Taking a deep breath, inhaling, exhaling. Bringing the attention to your hands, moving the hands, moving the feet. And just slowly returning your attention here with everyone here. Okay. So I'm going to visit again the jar that was also meditating with us. And look at what happened. It's clear again too. So that was about 2.5 minutes. Very short time that we need to regain that clarity that we need so much during this time. That calmness, that tranquility. It's only a minute or 2 minutes away of just breathing and being still. Okay, so here, and if you have any questions, please, you can type in the chat. So we're having a conversation here. So anything that comes up, I would love to see if I can help in any way, be of service. Okay, so they're saying that my camera's a little cut off. Let's see, it's better. Hope that's better. Okay, so here when we're talking about adapting to change during this time, I found this graphic and I thought it was so relevant to what we're experiencing. So as you see here, first there was the calling. So we started to hear that there was a virus in China and this is happening so far away, like something so out of my radar, just like watching it from the far away. We're complete still in our lives, where we feel balance, comfort. This is what we do. This is our routines and we're fine. So what happens? Starts to drop. Oh, wow. So denial. Things are getting bad in China, but now the next stage in this process of change is we don't believe it. It won't happen here. It's just not going to happen where I live. It's just not going to happen. And I think we all have experience, or maybe we are in one of these stages. So it doesn't matter where you are. We're just kind of like walking through the process of that it takes to for every person to go through this. And we may go back and forward too. And then we move to anger. So what are they waiting for? The government and the city, and like why they're not reacting? Why are people acting this way? Why is everybody so unconscious? And right, that happens to a lot of us. So we have, we go into these different stages, and this is completely normal. So this is a natural way that we as humans start to adapt, to change. And we may go after that into fear, am I sick? Or what's going to happen if I get sick? Or what will happen to my loved ones if they get sick? So right, so we're in this process. And let me see what messages we're getting here. I don't think I am stressed, but I can sleep. I can't sleep, so maybe I don't know it. Yeah, you cannot sleep. That's a great point. And yes, stress manifests times with, in the unconscious. So it's in the back of our heads. So it is normal that this may be happening. So hopefully some of the tools that we will cover can help you bring that ease of mind, get the clarity, so we can go to sleep and be more calm and not get so many things. Remember, all the mud, what represented the mud is all the stuff that we're putting in our head, and it's there and it's staying there. So let's go back here to the curve. And so then there's a point that we start connecting with fear. So, this might happen to me, this might happen to my loved ones. So, all these emotions start to rise. And then we arrive at a place of acceptance. And then we kind of feel like, oh, like this is happening. It's kind of like a shock. We start to experience a little bit of sadness, a little bit of feeling vulnerable, that we can't do anything about it, that, that there has to be some changes that need to be happening. So we start to accept that change and embrace that change. And it's a process, because the first 4, as you can see, they're very close together. But then to move on to the next one, which is creating new habits and trusting what is happening, that may take a little while. And if you're here and if you're listening to this, you probably are already between the acceptance and the new habits. So you're trying to take this opportunity to take care of you, to see what you can do for yourself, to see what you can learn from this opportunity. Perhaps see how you can help other people that are also experiencing this, because it's not only me or you, or it's everyone. So we're all in this together. And just trusting. So we're at that place that we don't know the answer. We don't know what's going to happen. But something inside of us tells us that everything will be fine. And that's an amazing place to be. And I think, personally, I'm still, I still assume, as we may go back and forth from fear, acceptance, and new habits, but it just being aware that where we are, and remembering that it's normal to feel emotions and to feel some fear, some anger. The important part here is not to be reactive in a way that we hurt ourselves or hurt others. So be conscious of how we are reacting to what is happening. So the last part of this pandemic, of this curve of change, will be that it ends, and it will end. And we get to a point where we see that that everything that we went through, we learned from it. We become stronger, a stronger person, a stronger community. And some of these things we're seeing it already, of the impact of how people are doing amazing things for each other. And it's beautiful to see this. And I hope you are also in that consumption of news and things that you are doing, that we're all doing, that we're also paying attention to the goodness and the transformation that we're experiencing as a society. Okay. Continue. If you have comments, always welcome. So let's do another exercise together. So now the sheet of paper and the pen that I asked you to get at the beginning, I invite you to bring that over. You just put it in front of you, because we're going to practice a daily habits exercise. So first, I invite you to think about 5 daily habits that you have. For example, the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning, what is it? And we're not judging ourselves and we're not judging others. We're just trying to identify what are our habits, you know. As soon as I wake up, I check my phone. What do I check on my phone? So that will be one. I check my email. I check my Instagram. I check my I don't know, my Facebook. I check, or maybe you don't do that. Maybe the first thing I do is get up and I eat breakfast. I just get up or go to the bathroom. My first thing that I do is go to the bathroom, brush my teeth. So gives you an idea, right? Okay. So now I invite you to write them down. 5 things. It doesn't have to be just in the morning, throughout the day. Things that you do. Maybe I get coffee every morning at 10 a.m. or I take a break and look out the window every afternoon. Whatever you do during the day, that is something that you do every day. Like, for example, for me, every day I sunbathe in my regular clothes. I just sit at 3 p.m. My kitchen window has a direct hit from the sun, and it's and because it's a little cold still here, so I sit there and I get like the sun, and it feels great. So that's one thing that I do almost every day, most days. So what are some of the things that you do? 5, and I'll give you a couple of seconds to write those down. Okay. So now, if you have whatever you have, it's fine. You may go back once we are done. So I invite you now to circle the ones that generate energy and give you optimism, that are good for you, that you feel like, you know, when I sit and I sunbathe from my kitchen, I feel energized. I feel good. It feels good in my body. It feels good to just like be there. And just circle those that feel good. How are we doing? Give me a thumbs up if you got them, or anything in the chat box. You need more time. Okay. So now I invite you to underline the ones that drain your energy and generate difficult emotions. So what are some of those habits that we have that actually drain you and don't feel good? And sometimes we're not conscious about it. We're not conscious about which ones are good or bad. And just stopping and doing this, it helps us to have a realization. Okay, I usually when I do, you know, when I go on Instagram, like afterwards, I'm like a little moody and like not very content, and I just feel more stressed, or it just doesn't feel energetic. Or maybe the opposite is one of the ones that gives you energy. So whatever it's for you. So just underline the ones that are generating difficult emotions or drain you. Okay. And to close this activity, I invite you to highlight or just put a star right next to the one that you think you want to modify. And if you want to do more than one, that's fine. But it's not easy to change a habit. So I would invite you to just start with one that you think might help you during this hard time. So what can I change in these things that I usually do, that constantly do every day, that I can start to pay more attention and see if I can make a change in this one, and just make some type of adaptation that will help me in the long run. You know, this is to help me feel better during this day. So if we have things that are draining us and generating more difficult emotions, um, we don't need that right now. Right now, we need things that are giving us energy, optimism, and just overall a sense of tranquility. Okay, so does anybody want to share? You can type it in. I think it will be easier, or if you want to talk to, um, which one is the one that you are wanting to modify or work with? So I'll keep going, and then if I see it coming and it takes a while to type, I'll read it. So stress. So now we talked about change, and we're trying to see, we saw how it happened, and it's normal. It's something that we all experience. It's something that happens in life. We are always faced with change. It's part of life. However, this time it's kind of like out of our control, so it generates a lot of stress because it's change that it's not super welcomed by us. It's something that's happening without our control. So this may be generating stress. So what is stress? Stress is this reaction that we have when there's an adjustment. It's a body's reaction to any change that requires an adjustment of response. So we are experiencing something, and a stimulation, this pandemic that happened, and we have to adjust our response. So this is what we need to do slowly. So in the process, it's going to be a process. So we can't go from the first day to the next just be like, oh, it's fine. We need to adapt. So the body reacts in physical, mental, emotional ways to stress. So one of the messages that you guys, I think Andrea sent, is sleeping, and sometimes it does affect our sleep, and it may affect our eating habits. We start eating more foods that are not very healthy, and so it may affect different areas of our lives. And it's manifesting in a physical. It may manifest in a mental way. We feel very unease and just with a lot of thoughts, or emotionally we just feel like sad or upset or angry. So we'll talk about in the next slide on how we work with the stress. So emotions, the important part here is that emotions are the biggest factor in stress, whatever we're experiencing. So how do we work with stress? So my advice today, this is a very short session, and I just want you to just have some tools right there that are easy to integrate in your life. So connecting, first I already gave you, connecting to beneficial habits, being conscious of our habits, which is one of the, I think, part here. And this one will be connecting to beneficial attitudes. So acceptance and trusting of what is happening, being engaged, not disconnecting from the world, just trying to keep nurture connections in a way that nurture you. So talking to family, talking to friends, and if you need to say at times, hey, can we change the subject and not talk about the virus, in a very kind way, we can do that. Because we are we can be very kind and offer that suggestion to our conversations with the people that we love, because we want to just talk to them and connect with them and be with them. So see the opportunity to grow in everything that is happening. If we have the mindset like, okay, I can't go to the gym now, and I used to go every day, so what can I learn from this? I can learn that I don't need to depend on other, people to be healthy. I learned that I can, there are alternate ways to do this. I learned that the next time I go, I will appreciate being with people so much more. So what can I learn from this opportunity? Focusing on the health. So what you're doing today, that's a huge step. Focusing on what can I do to help me work with the stress. So learn new tools, practice new habits. And then, as I already said, cultivate effective relationships, even virtually or digitally. And here, this live thing, do it with your family. Invite them to do a Zoom. If you have a party, I just had a birthday party on Saturday, and we sang happy birthday together on Zoom. That was awesome, to get the invitation. That was, and so if you have a birthday, do the same, just try to bring those relationships together. And it does feel amazing. It feels nurturing to all of us. Okay. So I've been talking a lot. If you have any comments, you can do so when we finish this. I would love to hear your thoughts or questions. For now, we were going to do an exercise that I also invite you to take with you. And it's a very easy breathing exercise. You can keep the eyes open right now and just sit in a comfortable position as you are, back straight, relax the shoulders, relax the body. And we're going to breathe, not too deeply, just normally, and try to connect with, see, kind of like watching our breath, like if we were watching like a car go by from the window. So when we inhale, I invite you to inhale and feel calmness go into your body. And then we exhale and we will have another word. So let's start together. Let's take a deep breath before we start, and then we return to the normal breathing. So inhale and exhale. You may keep your eyes open. And we inhale calmness. We exhale fear. We inhale safety. And we exhale boredom. We inhale tranquility. Feel the tranquility coming in. And we exhale restlessness. And we inhale health. And we exhale worry. One more time at your own pace. Okay. So this is something that you can play with on your own, and just inhaling things that are good for you and feel them in your body, and exhaling all the good, all the bad, like thoughts, worries, and just things that come to mind and that feel in the body, just allowing them to flow and leave our minds and bodies. So the last part is welcoming uncertainty. And here, just some bullet points. Accepting change as part of life. As I said before, change, it's just part of life. And we all experience change in our age, the way we look, our kids growing, plants growing, so change is always happening. Trust that we have that ability to adapt. So in that curve, trusting that we can adapt, we will adapt as human, allowing the adapting to the next step. Changing our perspective from fear into curiosity. What could happen? What are the possibilities that I can do? What are the things that I can do now? That goes into one of the next one, which is after this one, focusing on what you can control and not what you cannot control. This way, the things that you can control, focus on that and prepare from what the scenarios may come. Not too much planning, but just preparing. You know, I may go back. I'm to work this day. I may have to do this. So just an overall preparation, and no need to completely leave life to the side. I just still engaged and connected in a healthy way. And managing habits that create stress on us. So if the news brings stress, or if social media, so trying to manage that and be conscious of those things that bring difficult emotions and difficult feelings and thoughts into ourselves. And stay present as much as possible, as much as you can. So remember that we're all in this together. So we may all go over a few minutes, but I do want to do this last exercise together, which is a written reflection. So I invite you now to continue, turn the page, and now we're going to do another exercise, which is writing exercise. And in this exercise, if you need to take a deep breath now, to continue, you can. So in this one, we will focus on where we are right now. So if you need another deep breath before you start looking around, and see where you are. Where are you sitting? Look at the place where you are right now. Okay? Everything, look at everything. Things, everything. In a calm way, you're safe. So now I invite you to write about the present moment. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. I invite you to write, I am sitting on a chair. I see a window. I see a book. I feel a little cold. I am thinking. Those type of things. And I want you to notice as you're writing the tendency that we may have to write, I am sitting in a chair, and then, oh, I bought this chair like 5 years ago, and it was in a garage sale, and I wish I had bought another chair. So what happened there? I went from present to the past in 2 seconds. I was talking about the chair, and I'm like, oh, you know, I have the chair. Okay, so I invite you to notice that when you're writing, and just try to focus on the present moment. So we're going to do this for a minute and a half, and you can start now writing about the present moment. And I will ring a bell when the time is up. A few more seconds. Continue writing. Allow to your hand to flow with what is happening here in the body, in the mind, or what is happening around you in this room where you are, in this place where you are. Okay. So this is a wonderful exercise to do when we're feeling anxious and we feel a little overwhelmed with what is happening, and just to appreciate where we are, and it helps us like ground us where we are, just kind of like connect to what we are here, completely here, in noticing when we go different places. I send you all my love, lots of help, and lots of patience, strength, and we're all in this together. We're gonna get through this, um, and enjoy being home, being with your loved ones. It may not be easy at times, and it may not be easy to whatever we may experience at times. But remember that everything passes and everything is temporary, and that we're always okay, that we're always safe, and we're always home here. So take care, everybody.